Now, what all input should be there before you even start planning? Right? So you should have a document which is giving you the high level scope. So we call that as a scope document. Right? Now there should be some reference which is telling you, you know what, in this system we have to develop these 20 features or 50 features or 100 features, whatever it is. Right? Now, depending on the context of how the project has been finalized, there could be multiple documents which could be considered as scope documents, right? In most of the cases, if it goes through that competitive bidding, the winner of that competitive bidding is identified, and a statement of work is signed with the customer. Right now, this is a good scope document. The statement of work would clearly say, you know, this is the scope of the project. You have to deliver these 20 features as part of the system. Right now, those 20 features you'll have to expand it into detailed requirements later. But you know, it's clearly giving you an indication that these are the 20 things that you're expecting as part of the system. Okay. Now, so this is the primary document which should generally be considered. In some cases, what happens is, you know, even for requirements, you will not give it to a vendor. You will do it in-house. Like, you know, if Citibank is there, Citibank itself could do the requirements. Okay, so it will do the requirements, and once the BRD is prepared, then it might give it to some vendor like TCS or so for development and design and development, or even the development and design also can happen in-house. Right, so those are the possibilities. In that kind of scenario, there would be at least a business case document. Okay, so these are the two documents which you can consider as your input to the planning phase. Right, if it's a if it's a client vendor relationship wherein let's say Accenture is implementing the system for Citibank, right? So then there would definitely be a statement of work. Okay, yes, you can ask for this statement of work, which will clearly call out that these are the 20 features that we need to develop. Okay, so make sure that you have that document. Or the second option is Citibank itself is executing the project, right? So there is no vendor, there is no Accenture or TCS who is helping out, and Citibank in-house is developing this application, right? So there would at least be a business case document which should have been prepared earlier, on basis on which the budgets are approved. So you'll have that list of features listed in the business case document. Okay, so these two are generally considered as the scope documents. Make sure that you have at least one of them. If it's a client vendor relationship, you will have a SOW. If it's a client alone which is doing the requirements, then you will have a business case document. Clear about this? Any questions? All right, great. So once you have these, the business case documents or the SOW, then you would start your planning, requirements planning. Now, what do you do as part of the requirements planning? You would first create your detailed project plan, right? So, or inputs to your project plan from a requirements point of view, right? And then you also identify your templates and then the document formats, right? The frameworks in which you're going to capture the requirements and the tools. All those are clearly identified as part of your planning phase of the project, right? But the major output coming out from your planning exercise is basically the project plan. So you'll end up sharing a project plan, something like this, right? So all your inputs to your functional requirements is something which you work out with and then provide these inputs. Now we'll come to that. Before that, yeah, let's go step by step, right? So that's a major output coming out, right? A detailed project plan and inputs to that. You would have identified your team members and all, right? So we, in the earlier slides, we looked at the RSCA metrics, and before that, we identified the key people in the project. Right, so you would have identified the key stakeholders, your SMEs, the solution owner. All those roles would have been identified. You would have worked out the work breakdown structure and the detailed project plan, which I just showed you. You would have also identified the various tools to you know understand and document your requirements, right? So these would primarily be the output or deliverables coming out of the planning phase.
Thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment and subscribe for more updates.